Thank you, Chair Murray. Overturning Roe versus Wade was a historic occasion that signals a new beginning for millions of unborn American babies. Now the future of saving lives rests with the American people and their elected officials in the states. But this work is not finished. Family planning opportunities need to be expanded, and mothers need greater access to services that will support them and their baby throughout and after the pregnancy. I'm looking forward to informing the American public why the Supreme Court's decision is a positive development for our country and setting the medical record straight in the face of non-fact-based, pro-abortion fear-mongering. I appreciate Ranking Member Burr for yielding me the opportunity to lead this hearing, to use my knowledge and background as an OBGYN who delivered a baby nearly every day for 25 years, as well as held the hands of hundreds of women suffering miscarriages, ectopic pregnancies, infertility, and life-threatening obstetrical complications. Having delivered more than 5,000 babies and started and supervised multiple family planning clinics, I'd like to dispel several myths that are being heaved at the public. Myth number one, overturning Roe is a federal ban on abortion. No, that's not true. Overturning Roe actually sends the issue to elected state officials, allowing the citizens of each state to address a highly emotional issue via their elected officials. Nevertheless, we will hear this false battle cry multiple times this morning. Myth two, women will not have access to abortion. That's not true. Even the New York Times reported after overturning Roe, abortions will decrease by only 14%. It's also worth noting that after Texas passed its heartbeat law, 2 studies showed that abortions fell around 10%. After Roe, 27 states and Washington, D.C. continue to be largely unaffected, while 19 states will have protected limits. The other states will most likely fall somewhere there in between. Myth 3. Overturning Roe means healthcare professionals and hospitals cannot treat women with miscarriages, ectopic pregnancies, or when the mom's life is endangered. These are all scare tactics, preying on the emotions of people. Listen, every state abortion law triggered by overturning Roe includes an exception to save the life of the mother. Treating miscarriages and ectopic pregnancies are not the same as performing abortions. In fact, no abortion law in any state in America prevents treatment for women with ectopic pregnancies and/or other life-threatening conditions. I remember my first year in residency when we were learning about ectopic pregnancy, and our motto was to never let the sun set on an ectopic pregnancy. That motto will be continued throughout America. Every pro-life physician I know of, every physician that I know of, including myself, has always and will always care for these clinical conditions, and there are no laws that prevent such. This is a total fabricated myth. Myth 4. I quote members across the aisle on this myth. Overturning Roe is devastating to women's health. Members will imply today carrying a baby to term is more dangerous than an abortion. So using their logic, should we abort every baby? Should we stop all childbearing? Presenting abortion as the life-saving solution for women facing challenging pregnancies is a warped view of health care. It denies the modern medical science that can bring both mother and baby safely through even a high-risk pregnancy. Myth 5, Americans don't support limits on abortion. A recent poll from the AP and NORC Center for Public Affairs Research finds while 61% of Americans say abortion should be legal in most or all circumstances in the first trimester of a pregnancy, 65% said abortion should usually be illegal in the second trimester, and 80% said that about the third trimester. And from a June Monmouth poll, only 36% of Americans support abortions as always legal, while only 30% believe it should be legal with limitations. Myth 6. Many claim that the United States fell behind our international peers on abortion access. Look, only 7 nations allow abortions beyond 20 weeks, including China and North Korea. The final myth I'll talk about this morning. Here's the myth. Republicans want to end contraception and family planning. Nothing could be further from the truth. In my first year in residency, after I delivered several babies that were their moms were 13 years of age, I made a commitment to make sure that there was early access to prenatal care for everybody and access to contraception as well. regardless of a woman's ability to pay, in any community I practice. And that's why I set up and volunteered at prenatal and family planning clinics in residency, and that's why I oversaw 3 community health centers in rural Kansas and accepted all comers to our prenatal clinic. And this is why every year we fight for robust funding for community health centers and health departments. So, what does obstetrical care look like after Roe? We've dispelled many of the myths. Women with miscarriages and ectopic pregnancies will be treated in every state without exception. Life of the mom will continue to be honored, and Plan B remains over the counter. Republicans and Democrats must work together and continue to fight for more and earlier access to prenatal care and proper nutrition, especially in rural and urban settings, as well as child care, and attending to all the social challenges that I've seen so many times that a young single or married mom faces. This is why I co-led the Preventing Maternal Deaths Acts of 2018, and more recently worked with everyone here on this committee to pass legislation, the Maternal Health Quality Improvement Act, which was also recently signed into law. And this is why I lead annual appropriation letters supporting vital maternal health programs at HHS and the WIC program. While such centers as the Stanton Center, which you'll soon learn about, already outnumber abortion clinics 4-to-1 in this country, we can and will do more to help such clinics. I look forward to bipartisan cooperation to being part of the solution to maternity issues, which have all precipitated prior to this Supreme Court decision. Finally, we recognize family planning and access to contraception will be as important as ever. As I have in the past, I will continue to support robust funding for community health centers and county health departments like the ones I once volunteered and oversaw. Thank you, Madam Chair, and I yield back.
Thank you. We will now